Welcome to Fresh Start with Jason Cline.
Welcome back to the Fresh Start podcast with attorney Jason Cline, founder of the law office of Jason Cline in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Jason helps individuals and families across New Mexico find clarity and confidence through Chapter 7 and Chapter 13 bankruptcy solutions. I'm Evan Mack, and today we're talking about what really happens to your credit after bankruptcy. Jason, welcome back, brother.
Thank you.
This is probably a good topic because I think a lot of people think immediately when you go file for bankruptcy, your credit is just like destroyed forever. But when people first come to see you, how worried are they about their credit score, and why does that fear keep so many from exploring the options of bankruptcy?
Well, that's a great question, Evan. And this is on almost everyone's mind that calls me. I mean, the myth, which is supported by online searches, is that your credit score is going to drop to zero and be ruined for 7 to 10 years. I mean, it's a valid fear that they'll not be able to receive credit of any kind for that long, and they would not be able to attain credit for emergencies, car rentals, or even car purchases. This causes people to not even explore the possibility of filing bankruptcy. But rest assured, this is not the case.
That's interesting. So what actually happens to a credit score right after someone files? Does it immediately drop, or is it more complicated than that?
So a lot of people think that when they file for bankruptcy, that all of their debt will be removed from the credit reports and it's just going to say bankruptcy on it. And this isn't true. Your credit score will not immediately drop, and the creditors are not removed. What happens is that each individual creditor will report included in bankruptcy on their debt and drop the amount due to zero. The timing of this can vary between creditors. Some will do it right away so they can write the debt off immediately. They don't have to do this, though. They can wait until the discharge order enters to ensure the case goes all the way through before reporting. My suggestion is to not check your credit report until about 3 months after the discharge enters. Everything should be correct by then, and if it's not, there are simple ways to dispute your credit report to get it corrected, and I can help you with that.
Awesome. How long does bankruptcy stay on your credit report, and what does that really mean in the day-to-day life?
Yeah, Chapter 7 is going to be on your credit report for up to 10 years.
Okay.
And a Chapter 13 is on your credit report for up to 7 years, and these are from the filing date. That does not mean that your credit's ruined for 7 to 10 years or that you cannot attain any lending if you need it. Your day-to-day life is not really affected a lot by the filing of the bankruptcy, though. It may mean learning to consider what debt is necessary and if it's better to save for something rather than get it immediately by taking out credit.
Awesome. So some clients think they'll never be able to borrow again. What's the truth about getting approved for that car loan, that mortgage, or credit card after they file for bankruptcy?
You know, this might be one of the biggest misconceptions about bankruptcy filing. People think that they may never be able to get credit again, or at least not for the 7 to 10 years. The truth is that within a couple of weeks, well before the discharge order enters, your mailbox is going to begin to fill with offers for credit cards and vehicle loans. Creditors actually mine the bankruptcy filing data so that they can advertise to new filers. Their thought process is that collection on the debt is a guarantee because you can't file for bankruptcy again for several years, and they can charge a high interest rate. Mortgages are a little bit different. You don't qualify for conventional lending for 2 years after the discharge date. If you do need to purchase a house, there are non-conventional lending options, but these type of loans are generally considered to be an investment loan and don't really have great terms. But receiving credit after bankruptcy is possible. It's even easy. But you need to be aware of the interest rates, annual fees, and terms of the debt and choose wisely.
What are the first healthy credit habits someone can build once their case is over, Jason?
You know, as I touched on earlier, the first thing that someone should do to build a healthy credit habit after the case is over is take time to consider if taking out the debt is necessary. Is it for a need, like a necessary home or vehicle repair or an unexpected medical expense? Or is it a luxury purchase that could be saved for? I suggest that everyone, after they receive their discharge order, to go get a secured credit card. This is one where you put your own money up against it, and the amount you put against it becomes your credit limit. So if you put $500 against it, you get a $500 credit limit. Then you use it for necessities like gas and groceries and pay it off every month. Paying off a credit card every month avoids interest being charged, and it shows a positive payment on your credit history. Since there are no negatives hitting your credit report anymore, the positives will begin to improve your credit score pretty quickly. Plus, paying off credit cards every month is a very healthy credit habit. I prefer a secured credit card versus an unsecured one because generally the only type of unsecured credit card you're going to qualify for after bankruptcy filing will have an annual fee attached to it.
Hmm.
This causes you to have to pay for the ability to use the credit. With a secured card, when you've raised your credit score high enough to get an unsecured credit card without an annual fee, you can cancel it and get your money back. Considering things like this about what the cost of the credit you're taking out is also a very good, healthy habit to form. Overall, though, just being intentional about the credit you are taking out and understanding what it is going to cost you, and if it's necessary, is the most healthy thing anyone can do.
Are there specific mistakes people make while trying to do this credit rebuild? Things that they actually slow down the recovery instead of helping it?
There are two main mistakes that people make that are going to slow down that recovery. One is holding a balance on the credit cards. A big portion of your credit score is the ratio of the amount of credit that is available to you and the amount that you are using. There's some theories that the maximum rise in your credit score would be in carrying about a 30% balance on your cards, but these are really just theories. It's tried and true that if you're keeping a 0% usage on credit card debt because you're paying it every month, it will raise your score. So carrying a balance on your credit cards can slow the rise of it or even lower your credit score. The other main mistake is taking too much credit out too early after discharge.
Mm.
As I was saying earlier, or getting lending after bankruptcy can be pretty easy. It can be tempting to accept all of these offers that are coming at you in the mail. But if your goal is to raise your credit scores, this is not going to accomplish it. Your debt to income ratio has a huge effect on your credit score. The more debt you have, the less your score will improve, and it could lower your score.
Mm.
But just be intentional about taking out your debt, paying off the credit cards. If you have a loan, pay the necessary loan payments on time. This is going to improve your score.
It's interesting, Jason. So, how soon do you usually see credit scores that start improving after discharge, assuming someone follows the steps that you just laid out?
It's actually pretty quick. Within months of your filing, if you're taking the right steps, getting that secured credit card, paying it off every month, with those no negatives on your credit anymore, the positive reporting is going to have a relatively large effect. So most people can be back on their feet credit wise within a couple years.
Okay, so do lenders in New Mexico look at bankruptcy differently now than they did years ago, or is the kind of stigma still the same?
I want to put a caveat on this answer that this is really purely my opinion, based on what I've seen over the years of working in bankruptcy. But yes, it appears that lenders are not viewing bankruptcy the same way anymore. The state of the economy and the not so ethical practices of some creditors these days are driving there to be a lot more bankruptcy filings. And on top of this, the cost of living expenses such as gas and food have skyrocketed, while wages, they've remained the same. Um,
Mm.
I think lenders are seeing that people that would have normally been able to pay their debts are having to file bankruptcy to survive. So, in turn, when people are seeking lending after bankruptcy, the lenders are looking more at the full picture and not just considering that bankruptcy filing.
And Jason, for listeners who are scared to file because of their credit, or what do you want them to understand about how this process really sets them up for a stronger future?
Anyone that's scared to file because of the effect on their credit needs to understand that if they're already missing payments, their credit is already being harmed. Possibly worse than it would be with filing for bankruptcy because it's reporting a negative every single month. That's
Hmm.
incrementally driving that score down. Also, bankruptcy can be used as a way to attain future lending. Right now, they may not be able to qualify to purchase a house because of their debt to income ratio. Bankruptcy fixes that, and within 2 years, they can qualify to get a mortgage. Ultimately, if you're struggling with their debt, the fresh start can take away the stress that you're feeling, and you can recover from it faster than 7 to 10 years. With that new knowledge of the healthy credit habits, it's just going to set you up for the future.
Awesome, Jason. Thank you for the time.
Oh, thank you, Evan.
All right. That's it for today's episode of the Fresh Start Podcast. To learn more about attorney Jason Cline and how he can help you navigate bankruptcy with confidence, visit attorneyjasoncline.com. Thank you for listening. And remember to like, subscribe, leave a review, and share this with someone that might find the information helpful as well. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and leave us a review in the comments.